Hello, everyone. What's going on? This is a new podcast called SAGAS. I'm your man, Corbs, the Serpent Tongue Skipwith, along here with...
Ren, the Berserker Marabou.
Yes, and we are SAGAS.
Welcome.
And
We are so.
now we're here to talk about, ironically, for the first episode, the album SAGAS, which I think is a perfect fit. And that comes from none other than Ren Marabou and the Berserkers.
Nice. It's a nice fitting beginning to it all, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Chatting about sagas.
So, just for some context, because this is the first episode, they're going to be doing like short half an hour to 40-minute episodes, just talking about a different metal album every week, so the listeners can just have something quick, something nice, something just information based about an album. Because there's so many albums out there, podcasts out there that I think are too long, and no one has time to listen to a whole hour and a half. Well, not to me anyway. So I figured, why not give the metal community a short, sweet, just album review with the perspective of a journalist and an artist, and go from there. So
sounds like a plan, man. Yep.
Cool. So SAGAS. So I've already listened to the album, obviously. I reviewed it.
Yeah.
So, but I want to go all the way back when it was still when you were still writing about it, when it was still in the production stages. So no music yet, just you writing down all the plans, all the guitar solos, all the lyrics. What was going through your head? How did you envision the album SAGAS?
Whoa. Well, I think if anybody has watched the interview myself and yourself done a while back, it really all came from my own, would you say, faith in the gods and the universe and all that stuff. And I always point over here to the Poetic Edda. You know, I was trying to take all the sagas and bring them to life in this modern kind of setting, in a way. So that's why the music is a bit more contemporary, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd try and bring it into the world we're in now, you know? So then I just grabbed my trusty Ren Marabou and the Berserker notepad. I started scribbling down lyrics, and this is the room where it all went down. Yeah, so that was the beginning of it all.
Yep. Yeah, so when you were in the stages of just conceptualizing the album from scratch, did you and the band, did you guys have any ideas for did you already have a set sound put in place for how you wanted it to sound, or were you guys like spitballing different ideas, like, oh, hypothetically, we're going to do black metal, we're going to do grindcore, we're going to do, did you have a set sound in mind, or were you thinking about it for a while?
Well, the weird thing is that we don't actually have a set genre per se in our sound. I suppose we pick up the guitar and whatever riffs kind of fall out. Most of the time, just because of the background that I have anyway, post-hardcore was always my kind of thing, you know? So that's kind of where I still have a lot of bases of what I write, and I've heard people say there's like grunge influence and bit of punk, and obviously metal of all kinds sprinkled in there. But yeah, like I think Sagas was bounced off Valhalla Waits, was the album before that. I thought I had a copy here. Yeah, this bad boy, go get it. I can't see it with the shine, but it's grand. Oh look, I've done that zombie thing again.
You always have Odin's power on you. You're blessed. For the people who can't see the video because it's just audio, the screen's gone bloody red again. If you watch our interview, that happened. Yeah, so you're always blessed with Odin's wrath or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Because I'm looking through the album here, so I've got it on my phone, SAGAS. And so for you, how important, so this album to me had a conceptual feel to it, like you're telling a story like a Viking story. So the first track, for example, All Hell Odin. How early into the production of the album did you and the band go, "Yep, this is how we want to start the album"?
Yeah, All Hell Odin was actually the first song written, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was the first one written. That's why. That's usually the way I work it. Like if I have a single, the first song that kind of, I suppose, wins the race of being finished first, because
Yep.
they're all scattered. They're like jigsaw pieces, and putting them together. Whichever comes out first. If it feels like a single, it gets the go ahead. But yeah, All Hell Odin was the first one, and it was the more kind of uh, theatrical kind of almost like my missus does say that song reminds me of Ave Maria because it's like it sounds like a song of praise. So
Yep.
yeah, so that did kind of set us up for the rest of it, because that was the first one completed, and I was like, all right, we'll kind of go in that direction. But it's the only track really on it that's about, you know, praising and whatnot. But
Yeah.
musically, I think it set us up nicely.
So for you guys as the band, does is there any member of the band so for example, when you guys were making the music for the album, was like how long did it take for you guys to go, yep, perfect, this is the tempo I want, this is the speed of the drums, this is the speed of the guitar? Is it just instantaneous with you guys, or did it take a while to figure it out?
You know what? We're everything is so like I'm lucky with the boys. It's very organic. It's like old school the way we like to write it, and it's just write a riff, play it along with the drums, nail it down, and that's it. There's no we wouldn't be overly particular, let's say, because we like to let the song just flow and grow itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're not too you see a lot of bands would be quite uh finicky about that kind of stuff. But there's more things to do, so don't waste time on that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I just thought of it now, because this is a perfect opportunity, since obviously we're talking to the band member of the album. So for someone who's listening, who's not in a band, doesn't play any instrument, who's just a listener like me, can you maybe tell us some of the hidden, not the hidden costs, but the hidden things behind the scenes, that a lot of us wouldn't know to make an album, to release an album?
Yeah, right.
What's the hidden behind the scenes stuff that just makes it harder than we think to make an
Well,
album?
yeah, well, there's a couple of elements. Like, I suppose the first off is recording. The cost of recording. If you're in a situation like myself, where I wasn't before, where you'd have to go into a studio and do the whole thing that way, it can get costly, depending on how well you know your songs, what kind of, how big you want your production. If you wanted just a garage band, you can go in and out in a day, probably. Most studios probably be about 300 quid over here for a day. So that's your first cost anyway. So you probably bang out three, four if you're a tight band, and then that even is keeping it at like a semi-basic kind of production, like you wouldn't get all the orchestras and the backup dancers and stuff on the track.
Yeah.
but but yeah, so that would be the first one. And the other one that people kind of oversee or don't really, it's an oversight, is the mixing. Because to me, mixing is the most important thing. Because if you don't have a good mix, like, you could have an amazing track and the mix could be awful and it could be destroyed, But then again, mix is, it's a lot to do with it's in the eye of the beholder, or the ear of the beholder as well. Like, a lot of people might like a mix and some people won't, but once you get it to like a professional level, really, if you want to get a bit crazy with it, then after that's fine. But so mixing can cost a bit more if you're sending it somewhere. Um, I do it all that myself because I'm a little bit too I don't know. I like to do it myself.
I understand that.
Yeah, yeah. No, my vocals are too loud, man. Turn that up, turn that down. But yeah, and then there's the mastering. Then it's separate. Like there's like non-musicians and even a lot of musicians find mixing and mastering like quite like something that Odin would come in with his spells and his magic ruins and he's it's like a mystery, but it's actually quite simple once you have the it's the software and the knowledge and what you're actually trying to do with it. But it's really handy to get that done by really good dudes for decent money. It's probably the cheapest part of it if you want to go that route, and then it can become the most expensive part if you want to, get Phil Anselmo or somebody to mix it and master it for you,
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're the costs there. But the other cost is the cost of your life.
Yeah.
As in the amount of time, blood, sweat, and tears you put into it. And ultimately, you want something coming out of it at the end that you're proud of, whatever level you're at, whether you're releasing it for yourself, for your neighbor, for a label, for your granny. My granny, God rest her, she used to love my heavy metal music.
Nice.
She used to rock out the Sepultura and I'll go, this is great, like Roots, bloody Roots and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's without going off track too much. Pretty much that's the whole kind of like the roundabout version of it. There's the other side of it if you want to do it yourself, which today we live in such a brilliant age of recording. I remember when I was starting out, we had cassette tapes and karaoke machines. You just press the play and the record at the same time and you sing away in your mic with your guitar. But then obviously we got 8 tracks or digital 8 tracks from home, and they were great, but you still didn't have this software stuff. Now that there's software, there's a lot of free software online. You can go get yourself an interface and a set of monitors, studio monitors, which are super important if anybody's doing any kind of recording at home. And a nice set of like United Music Mafia headphones, perhaps.
Oh, you finally got them.
No, I didn't know. They're still.
Oh, I remember.
I'll tell you that. Yeah. So, but I am gonna get some because they're awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah. So pretty much that, and then it's microphones.
Yeah.
The cost of microphones is it's imperative really to get a good mic. Although you can get good ones. Like this is one I recorded the first album. I kind of have it on the shelf here.
Yep.
As like a reminder kind of thing. This
yeah.
It's an SM57 kind of knockoff, and it was €10.
Yeah.
It came on the longboat from China and it eventually arrived here. And dude, I recorded my first album with that for all the guitars and I remember doing bits on the drums. I would record, I couldn't do it all at once because I only had one little €10 mic.
Yeah.
So I'd record the snare. I'd do the whole beat, but I'd have it on the snare, and then I'd do the whole beat again, have it on the on the cymbals, and long rigmarole anyway. But it worked. You can do it on the cheap if you want to, if you have good tunes and the time to do it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I thought just came to mind. I want to know, and you had to be completely honest here. When it came to, so for the overall time it took to record, mix, master the album SAGAS, how many raging moments of frustration did you have where you wanted to pick a guitar or?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Well, when a song is coming together nicely, or an album in general, you kind of get in a flow, and you get this nice flow. And I'm lucky that I kind of get into these moments, or they could be span over weeks. And then something like my biggest thorn is the hard drive on the computers deciding to just die, or erase everything. Like it wasn't so much Sagas, it was our new track, Fenrir, that's coming out on the next album. It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, and the entire track just got erased from the hard drive, from the computer, the external hard drive, all the backups. I don't know what happened, but they all just vanished. It was like a corrupted file or something. So the entire track just got wiped clean. And I swear I've never put as much work into anything in my life than I did that track, because it was the first track that was coming out on United Music Mafia. And I just talked to the main man, Sean, that day, and I said, dude, I have a good one. I have it. It's ready. It's just finished. And I went to just to go back over the mix, just to make sure it was right. Boom, gone. I swear, dude, I nearly, like, it was the closest I came to having an nervous breakdown recording music. Like, it was, I wouldn't like to have been a bystander in the room with me, let's say. Axes were flying.
Wow. Going full berserker.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah. But during Sagas, I actually had a really good time. I don't think I had any major issues like that. I didn't even record much of me. Usually I do like behind the scenes. With Sagas, it was so quick and just flowed so nicely. Like I done some like, on my Facebook page, me recording a clip, but I didn't really do anything else. And a lot of people are asking me, because I used to do a lot of vlogging and stuff, and people are saying, well, you need to get back into doing that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm just too kind of busy. But with Sagas, I was not so much busy. I was busy, but it was more like I was in flow. I didn't want to break it, because it was just flowing just nicely, and I was afraid to. I had like daily rituals and everything to try and keep this flow. You know what I mean? I had to wear the same color socks. I had to do.
Well, it came out nicely. So whatever you were doing.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. No, I'm trying to keep up that momentum now, but sure. Was it last week? I'm only after getting over COVID. Sure, I had COVID there. I was locked down for 2 weeks, like. So that was fun. Fun start to the year.
So I'm curious. So I know obviously I've talked to you and the drummer in the interview. Is there like, do you have like, I mean, if you could, is there any other like instrument that you would like, so any other band member that you would want to play any specific instrument in the future for your sound, like a cello player, I don't know, a harp?
Dude, the list I could literally list off. I have this vision, ultimate vision at the end of all of this, that I want to get to a stage where we do have like a set of musicians that come and play, and like if we ever get back on tour again, I nearly cursed there, but if we ever get back on tour again and actually have shows to ask these musicians to join us on, because I use a lot of instruments on tracks, like, I have my violin down here, my mandolin's over there. Yeah, I even have my ukulele here, dude, So I have everything, all these different instruments put on tracks, and I want to be able for them to be played live with me, like my missus only got Kathleen, I must say, I keep saying Mrs. Kathy, my shield maiden, she plays the bodhrán, so she's getting up to speed with some stuff with us too, like. So where's my mandolin? Don't know where it is. Wanted to show you that too. Somebody's after robbing it. Oh, it's over there. It's over in the corner. But so the mandolin is, I've been recording a lot of that on some new tracks. So I'm gonna need some chap on stage, especially if we do like radio shows or any kind of acoustic sets. I think having the mandolin, because a lot of these songs it's mandolin, like, well, you say cello is another. Geez, that's a beautiful instrument. Like, just it's this like at the start, the goddess of the underworld from Sagas.
Yeah.
That cello at the start of that is just one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah.
Speaking of what I would love, and if there's anybody out there that has a hurdy-gurdy and they want to hit me up, please do.
Yeah.
Because those things are the most incredible instruments. Anyone that doesn't know what a hurdy-gurdy is, it's this crazy spaceship-shaped instrument from medieval times with a wheel. And as you're spinning the wheel, you're pressing these buttons down the bottom. It's at the start of All Hail Odin is a
Yeah.
hurdy-gurdy. But they are like stupid expensive. They're like 5-6 grand average sort of thing. But one of those would be like a dream for me to be rocking out with the guitar with my Cassidy's guitar and a hurdy-gurdy over there, man. I'd be some happy boy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so see, this is the cool thing, like, because for me personally, as a music critic, I've gone through, I listen to the most weirdest genres. I listen to everything. I listen to like great stuff. And like for you guys, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on here with you, but I mean it by saying like, because I grew up, as far as Viking music, I grew up, the cliche Amon Amarath, and I grew up on a lot of folk music, and you guys are really, in my opinion, from all the listening I've done to other bands and your guys' band, you guys are the new, in my opinion, benchmark for Viking music. I don't know if you guys label yourself just Viking, but to me, as far as Viking goes, and I tell everyone who's interested in metal, like, you guys are the new Amon Amarath of today, which, like, I know they're mainstream as fuck, but I'm just saying,
right.
Yeah, you guys are the new benchmark, and it's so exciting to see your progress, because now in the new generation, you guys will be looked up to from the younger kids like me back in the day, going, look at this Viking metal, and you guys will be the name, not the other bands.
Yeah.
So,
well, that would be amazing, and thank you so much for saying, man. It means a lot, because coming from someone like you that actually knows music, you know more about music than I do. You listen to music and you pick it out, pick it apart, and you can actually express what you're thinking. Like with me, it's, I'll sit there and I'll play the guitar, and you ask me what I just did, and I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just happens. But no, but coming from you, it means a lot. It's a great compliment. But I mean, like, Amon Amarth definitely paved the way. Like I said to you before, man. And it's great. I love anything that opens up doors for anything, even the likes of Thor. Here's a T-shirt I just happen to have there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I like, it's never been worn. It's just sitting there. I just thought it was Thor, and I was like, sure, I'll just buy that. But even the fact that Thor was brought to mainstream, not through the religious aspect or not through the historical aspect, from a cartoon, and then into movies. And then that way it gets introduced. Like, I remember being a kid and being introduced to Vikings through Asterix and Obelix, Thor, and it was like, what are these amazing, fantastic men and creatures and whatever. But there's a whole lot behind it, going back, thousands of years. But like, I love anything that paves the way and opens the doors, and that's what Amon Amarth has done, along with, like I always say, Tyr.
Yeah, definitely.
Those boys, like, Tyr.
Yeah,
love you. Hit me up.
They are a lot more. They are a lot more, to me, like, folk based than obviously Amon Amarth. I mean, really, and like, because of you guys, I've kind of gone back every now and then to listen back to Amon Amarth. They're really just death metal wearing Viking outfits.
Yeah,
it's not really Viking metal as much. It's just because, for me growing up, you see the album covers, you see how they look, you see the song titles. It's all Viking related, so everyone associates them with Viking metal. But really, they're death metal. But it's still a cool look. It's a cool Yeah.
Cool concept in that, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I mean, I don't know the guy's history and all that kind of stuff. They the things that they speak about in their songs, they know their stuff. Um, you know, on a like they're from the Faroe Islands. So
Yeah.
their whole like, heritage was the Vikings coming over and basically creating this whole place that they live in. So they owe an awful lot. It's deep roots for them to
Yeah.
speak of all those things. And that's what really got me looking too, because I found out a lot of stuff about my heritage. Like people, like my family name comes from Norwegians coming over to Ireland to Athlone,
Yeah.
straight up to Shannon. Decided to, take over.
Yeah.
No, not take over. But what do they call them? There's the dove fins, and we're the Fingals. We're the Fingals, so we're the nice ones.
Yeah.
The nice Vikings that came over, that settled and got mingled in. None of this raping and pillaging stuff like.
Wow. That's a relief then.
I won't knock at your door and say all that like.
That would be quite scary, I can imagine. More scary than COVID knocking on your door. Um,
Yeah.
I was just thinking this, like, because I don't know if you know, but and I don't know if they still have it, but years ago they had because of Marvel, like as a special piece, they actually sold at these like game stores, like game stores. They sold Thor's hammer, right? But they sold a special edition that was like literally like 1,000 kilos. It was too heavy for anyone to lift, and purposely done so that no one can lift it. And I was thinking, like, one day when you guys hit the mainstream, you guys should buy that hammer and then for a pre-show, like have all your fans try and lift it. And obviously no one can, it's way too heavy. And then then the lights go out and then you guys start playing and there's just Thor's hammer like in the middle. And the whole time you're playing, fans can come down and try to lift it.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be funny. That'd be sick.
And at the end of the gig, then the lights go down and we replace the hammer with an identical one, but it weighs nothing. And then I go over and pick it up at the end.
Dude,
what's wrong with you?
So sick. Yeah. And then like lightning comes down, like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so many cool ideas.
Yeah. I
like because I've always been fascinated. Like me personally, when it comes to especially live music, I don't really see it that much because obviously it would be hard to do. But it really intrigues me when I see a band live that just like combines music with like theatrics. It's like they do like crazy, like they don't just put on a performance, they put on like a whole, like I'm trying to think of a good example, like Slipknot.
Yeah.
You know how they had like a whole thing and they had like a massive drum percussion set and the dude would jump and then the DJ would jump from the ceilings. Like stuff like that. Like so I think it would be really cool if in the future you guys could do like a theatrical, like just Thor's hammer, just all the lights and that would be sick.
Dude, do you know what? It's funny you say that because Halloween just gone. We done a show. I think it was on Halloween night or the night before. Well, we dressed up anyway. I got into like full Viking gear, and I have still my microphone in the background. I posted a picture today. I have like deer antlers and stuff on it. And what else did we have? Oh, we had a couple of bits and pieces, right? And I was like, dude, this is giving us an excuse. I had like runes on my head and stuff. And I was like, that was an excuse for Halloween. But I was like, we need to do this all the time.
Yeah. Imagine, do that for your new, like your music costume.
Yeah.
Like Slipknot.
Exactly. I love all the theatrics. Like I remember when I was younger, I was a bit of a purist. I was like, just get up there, rock out, and do your thing. And then just as I got a bit older, I'm like, geez, it's great to have, because music is, it brings you somewhere, and if the music is like a fantasy kind of vibe too, and
Yep.
it brings you even further, you know. So it's like, how awesome is that? Like you know, you want that escape with music, so why not take the journey a little further and experience it even grander?
Yeah.
If that makes, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, have you ever heard of the Finnish band Him?
Oh yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
am. I
I have a
actually, when I was younger, I bought because I still love that band. I bought a
yeah,
CD. It was the Venus Doom tour, and it had a CD and DVD, a concert,
yeah,
and the concert always made me laugh. It because like it wasn't anything fancy. It was just a band and a crowd, but you could tell Valvello, the singer, he was either really drunk or really high. He was something, and he was like he was holding the microphone and he was just like
yeah,
dazing. It was hilarious. Like I couldn't stop laughing. But
yeah.
when you see that, you're like, what the hell? Like
No,
doing. But great band, great.
it,
Um, yeah, one of my
do you know
favorite
what,
bands.
dude? I have a rake of him CDs over there, right? And I actually have a mini heartogram tattooed on my foot.
Nice,
You
nice.
know, it was just a drunk at a party, and I was like, "Oh, give us that gun," and I just tattooed it on my foot myself, like. But because it's funny you mentioned it, because I mentioned my nanny, and she's passed quite a long time, but you know, you always hear people like, "Oh, there's albums that get me through hard times." I was driving a truck. This was before music really took over for me. I was driving a truck, and I was listening to him album. Had a black cover. I can't remember the name of it now. It'll come to me. But I was listening to that, and that's why I tattooed the heartogram, because it helped me get through that. You know, and as cliche as that sounds,
Yeah,
because I hate cliche shit, man, but I do run into them. And yeah, like solid band. Like
yeah,
I'd high five him now for getting me through that. For
yeah.
helping anyway.
Well, no, I was the same with because yeah, my grandma passed as well, and like um, it's interesting, and it's kind of like for me, I feel it's like because right before she passed, she recommended me. I don't know if you know this person, but she recommended me the New Zealand singer Lord, the
Yeah, yeah,
woman.
yeah. No
And
way. Yeah,
when she passed, obviously I tried to get into that woman's music just for my nan's sake. And I
yeah.
feel so bad because I couldn't do it. I'm like, sorry, Nan, this is your style. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
Like, and I feel so bad because it's like it's the one connection, the one music connection
I know, I
that we would
know.
have, but I can't get into it, and I feel so bad. But I did get this. So after she died,
Oh,
I got her name.
nice, man.
So date of birth.
Beautiful.
So for me, that's how I keep it close. But it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure we've hit our time limit for the, for the thing,
I
which
will
is
just
awesome
double it.
because like as usual, we have great connection, great chemistry.
Yeah.
So obviously, so if you want to plug any new music, any new things you're doing
Yeah,
for your
man.
band,
Yeah, so at the minute we have, today is what date? 22nd, this Saturday. Um, the new single Sigurd the Dragon Slayer is coming to everybody's earlobes, hopefully. Earlobes into the ear canal. Yeah, so that'll be out everywhere. Especially United Music streaming. It's gonna be up there for free. So get over there and get on that. But then we have another very special. We have a couple of really cool announcements coming up too, but I can't say that right now. Or they'll take the axe to me. So stay tuned for something really cool coming up as well. But also, the album will be finished soon. Be on the way, like so.
do you have an
You know,
album name?
Tales of Ruin.
Nice, sounds
But
badass already.
yeah, it's spelled Ruin, R-U-N-E, like ruins.
Rune. Yeah,
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 it's a play on the L word, you know.
nice. Um, that's sick. Yeah. For me, I just have my normal reviews. Go to Relentless Reviews with Corbs. I unfortunately post every week, so I have no life. I do reviews. Yeah,
Amazing
sometimes 4 to
review.
5 times a week, and
Yeah.
yeah, more interviews on the way soon. Yeah, so obviously next week, because we'll record once a week. So yeah, we'll obviously discuss on Facebook which album we should review next, and the second episode should be interesting because you'll be talking not from your own band, so you'll be able to tell me how you feel about the tempos, about the music, everything from your perspective, and I could talk about it from critic.
So. Yeah, it'd be nice to. I mean, because I do like talking about myself and my own music and stuff, but it'd be nice for a change to talk about other music because I love all music, so you know.
Nice. Well, that will be coming. Hopefully, we'll try to do it the same day every week. But if not, it doesn't really matter. We can just switch it up. Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything last words to say before we?
Thanks for being so awesome, you.
You too. With the critic and the Viking. The Kiwi and the Viking.
The Kiwi and the Viking, man.
Yeah, that could be the new TV show. The Kiwi and the Viking. Imagine that.
Yeah, I will get there.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, I'll start record. So soon I'll put it on a hard drive, put it in the iPad, and I'll start working on it. See how I can do it.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, I mean, we talk on Facebook all the time anyway. So
yeah, man.
Talk to you on there, and sweet. Yeah. So I will talk to you later.
Great stuff, brother.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm going to bed. You're going with your day. See you later.
All right. Have a good one.
Good luck, bro.
See you later.